Good morning, everyone. This is Mike O'Malley here with the Hurricane Outlook and discussion for October 21st, 2022, around 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We have a lot to talk about today, including a huge hurricane forming in the Pacific. What exactly is going to happen? Who is it going to affect? And how bad could it get? Plus, some interesting United States weather ongoing. So let's go and jump straight into everything. Taking a wide look across the tropical Atlantic this morning, we noticed that not much is occurring out there in the Atlantic basin. Not really much ongoing, no real tropical waves out there. However, we do have some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity in the Caribbean at this point, but nothing imminent for development. However, in the East Pacific basin, we do have tropical storm Roslyn, and that could be a significant concern for portions of Mexico over the next few days. Speaking of what's going on in the Western Caribbean, we noticed that this is a look here at the western portion of the Caribbean basin. Not really much is ongoing. You can see, though, however, there is some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity to the west of Jamaica, and this is associated with that stalled frontal boundary. And this could be a focus for some potential activity going forward. However, there's not really any indication of any substantial development out there in the Caribbean right now. So certainly all is pretty quiet. Still some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity from Cuba all the way down through portions of Central America and the Yucatan. So something to monitor. And in the East Pacific basin, we have tropical storm Roslyn. This is now increased to just under hurricane status at this point. Right now, maximum sustained winds close to about 70 miles per hour, and this will be moving off towards the northwest over the next few days, where, again, additional strengthening is likely, and this will likely become a powerful hurricane as it sets its sights on portions of coastal Mexico. Looking at the track forecast for Roslyn, we notice that it is expected to be moving off towards the northwest over the next several days and intensifying as it does so. National Hurricane Center does indicate the potential for rapid strengthening. Hurricane watches and warnings have been hoisted for portions of the Mexican coastline at this particular point, and some of those additional hurricane watches will likely be upgraded to hurricane warnings as time progresses. This will be a very large system, so impacts will be felt well outside of the cone. If we look at the high-res satellite imagery, we notice that the system is becoming better organized with a better central dense overcast. Maybe the circulation is still a little displaced from the overall deepest convection. However, the system does look a lot better organized than it has certainly from the past few days. Looking at the GFS evolution of this particular system, we notice that it rapidly intensifies over the next couple of days, moving northwest, and eventually gets that kick from an upper level low to the west and moves towards the northeast straight into land there, actually kind of really closely aligning itself with the National Hurricane Center official forecast. And this could actually be a little bit stronger at landfall, potentially close to Category 3 intensity, depending on how it interacts with the land. Looking at the wind gust forecast for this particular system, we notice that these winds will be over 100 miles per hour at the landfall point, especially near the core. But even well away from the center of circulation, those winds will be gusting quite high, upwards of 50 to 60 miles per hour, even well away from the center. So it's important to focus on the impacts, not the track. Looking at some of these rainfall totals as well, they could also be quite high. Now, the storm is going to be moving quick, but these rainfall totals could easily pile up over 7 to 10 inches in spots. The more significant rainfall totals are, of course, going to be near the coast and inland as well in the higher elevations, so that is also something to pay close attention to. It is also worth noting that there could be a tropical cyclone forming in the West Pacific over the next couple of weeks, and this potential system could actually end up impacting the Philippines, so that will be something to monitor for folks there. Now, focusing on United States weather today, we notice that it is pretty quiet out there except for the portions of the northwest U.S., but most of the central and eastern U.S. is pretty quiet today. Temperatures are pretty seasonable, and they are quite cool in spots, especially across portions of the Midwest, but across portions of Florida today, temperatures in the 70s and even some 80-degree markings later today across South Florida. However, over the next several days, we will be seeing a pattern change and some potential severe weather as well. We can see that over the next several days, we get the storm system to be moving out across the Central Plains. There will be enough instability out there on the margin of about 1,000 Cape to support some potential severe weather across portions of the Tornado Alley area, Oklahoma, Texas, and that even might progress eastward as a severe weather event. So it will be something to monitor for the next several days. As far as the temperature department goes, it is going to be getting quite cool across the area. We can see here that temperatures are going to be in the 30s, even down near zero in some areas on the 25th there of October. Temperatures will be quite cool, and we notice how that cold front is going to be sliding southward, and that will continue the cool air push all the way down in towards the Midwest and even the southern part of the United States. We can see here temperatures that will be in the 30s across most of Canada, across portions of Colorado, still in the 70s across portions of Florida, but of course that will begin to cool off as we progress forward in time over the next several weeks. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your afternoon and evening. Of course, I am Michael O'Malley, and I'll be talking to you guys again some more tomorrow.